6 months ago, like many of you, I was super hyped about the Google Pixel 9, fresh out of the box. It promised a lot, and well, promises are one thing, reality after half a year is another. So buckle up, because we're doing a proper long-term review of the Pixel 9. Let's find out. Now, when the Pixel 9 first launched, the thing that really caught my eye, and I bet many of yours too, was that refreshed design. Google really seemed to have listened. Remember those initial Pixel designs? Love them or hate them, they were distinctive. But the Pixel 9, it refined that signature look. After 6 months of actually living with this phone, I can confidently say, in my opinion, it's still the best looking Pixel yet. The flat sides, that smoother back panel, those gently rounded corners, it all just clicks. Picking it up every day, it still feels modern and, dare I say, classy. Design-wise, it's genuinely comfortable to hold. That thickness, those flat sides, for someone like me with average-sized hands, it's been a joy for one-handed use. Unlike some of the bigger, fabled-style phones out there, the Pixel 9 strikes a great balance, and that premium feel still there. The glass back and aluminum frame give it that solid quality heft. Personally, I do still slightly prefer the matte glass and polished aluminum on the Pro models, a bit more premium feeling to the touch if I'm being honest. But the standard Pixel 9, don't get me wrong, feels every bit the flagship device. It's taken a few minor bumps and scrapes over these months too, and thankfully it's holding up remarkably well, which is reassuring. Moving on to the display, and wow, this 6.3-inch OLED panel is still a treat for the eyes. That 120 Hz refresh rate, combined with the HDR10+, everything just looks buttery smooth and vibrant. Protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2, it's been pretty scratch resistant in my experience too, which is great for someone who's slightly clumsy like myself. Google bumped up the peak brightness to 2700 nits, higher than even last year's Pro model. Outdoors, under bright sunlight, no problem seeing the screen. Colors are punchy, sharp, well balanced, and those symmetrical bezels, while some might find them a tad thicker compared to some super slim bezel phones, honestly, they don't bother me at all. They actually give you a nice little grip when you're holding the phone horizontally. And let's talk about the fingerprint scanner. A major upgrade this year to ultrasonic. Remember those optical scanners from previous Pixels? They were fine, but this ultrasonic one is just consistently faster and more reliable. Unlock speeds are snappy, and it's worked every single time. Even with slightly damp fingers after washing my hands, a small thing, but makes a big difference in daily use. The hardware buttons, solid, clicky, still feel great. Speakers still sound fantastic for a phone, surprisingly full and loud for watching videos or listening to music when I'm just chilling at home. And the haptics, crisp and strong. Little details like these really elevate the overall experience. Now, performance. The downside with Pixel phones, right? The Google Tensor G4 chip. If you're familiar with Pixels, you know they aren't exactly topping benchmark charts, and after 6 months, my experience is pretty much as expected for everyday tasks, browsing social media, emails, messaging, streaming videos, snapping photos. The Pixel 9 breezes through everything. Zero complaints, it's smooth, responsive, no stutters or lags. But, and there is a but, when you push it harder, like with graphically intensive 3D games or video editing, you do start to see some throttling. Frame rates can drop in demanding games, and video rendering, well, it's definitely not the fastest compared to other flagship phones in this price range, or even cheaper ones like the OnePlus 12 or Galaxy S24, which sport those top-tier Snapdragon chips. The Pixel 9 just isn't in the same league when it comes to raw horsepower. Honestly, that's just the reality. But, and this is crucial, most people buying a Pixel aren't chasing after peak performance for gaming marathons. The appeal of Pixel, and what's kept me coming back over the years, is that unique blend of AI smarts, that clean, bloat-free software experience, and being first in line for those sweet, sweet Android updates. And in those areas, the Pixel 9 absolutely delivers. Rumors are swirling about future Pixels potentially moving to more efficient chips, and that would be amazing to see. But for now, you just have to accept that other phones are faster if pure speed is your priority. For me, for my daily use, the Pixel 9's performance is more than adequate, but it's not going to blow you away. Speaking of software, Google is the king here, and the Pixel 9 is first in line for everything. It launched with Android 14, and I'm already looking forward to Android 15. And knowing Google, we're guaranteed updates for years to come. 7 major Android upgrades, they're promising. That's future-proofing right there. And of course, Gemini becoming the default assistant is a big deal. It's noticeably more conversational and contextually aware than the old Google Assistant. Google's really doubling down on software smarts, And for the most part, they're genuinely useful additions. Battery life has been consistently solid these past 6 months. The 4,700 mAh battery easily gets me through a full day of what I'd consider normal use: social media, emails, calls, photos, some YouTube, screen on time. I'm consistently getting around 5 to 6 hours, sometimes even a bit more on lighter days. Even on heavier days, pushing the phone harder, I can still squeeze out 14 plus hours on a single charge. No battery anxiety here, which is fantastic. However, and again, there's a however, charging speeds are still, well, let's just say they're not winning any awards in 2025. Still stuck with 27-watt wired charging, 30 minutes to get to 50% battery. It's okay, but not exactly blazing fast. And then there's the wireless charging. Google actually lowered the wireless charging speed from 18 watt to 15 watt with the Pixel stand. And with standard Qi chargers, it's just 12 watt. It's puzzling, to be honest. In a world of super fast charging, Pixels are still lagging behind. Let me share some personal experiences after 6 months of using this phone day in and day out. One thing that's really stood out is just how reliable it is. It's become my go-to for capturing everyday moments, whether it's a quick snap of my dog being goofy or a nice landscape shot on a weekend hike. The camera just delivers consistently. Speaking of cameras, let's talk about the camera, because let's be honest, for many people, it's the reason to get a Pixel, and as expected, Google delivers. Photos are consistently fantastic, bright, sharp, colorful, excellent dynamic range, and those natural tones Google is famous for still there in spades. Google's image processing is just magic. Point shoot, and you almost always get a social media ready shot. Video quality is also solid, stabilization is excellent, perfect for those shaky handheld videos. Now, the standard Pixel 9 does lack that periscope telephoto lens that the Pro models have. So zooming beyond 2x relies on digital super res zoom, and while it's decent, it's not true optical zoom quality. But the 2x optical zoom and the 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens, they are great additions, especially for detail and macro shots. That being said, the cameras aren't perfect. Portrait mode edge detection still occasionally messes up around hair or complex backgrounds. Focus hunting in video, it can be a little annoying at times, especially when switching subjects, and switching between lenses isn't always the smoothest. And remember, the base model misses out on 8K video recording and those pro camera modes, but Google makes up for it with those AI-powered photography tools. AdMe for group photos, reimagined for modifying images with text prompts. They're fun and sometimes surprisingly effective. Okay, let's be real. No phone is perfect, and the Pixel 9 definitely has its downsides, performance in demanding tasks. It's not a gaming beast. Charging speeds are still slow compared to the competition. The camera, while excellent, isn't flawless and lacks some features compared to the Pro models. And at $800, it is a bit pricier than last year's model, and you can find similarly priced phones that offer better raw performance. These are the shortcomings after 6 months of use. These are the things that, if I'm being completely honest, sometimes make me pause and think about what else is out there. So after 6 months, where does the Pixel 9 stand? It's still a fantastic Android phone. It's not the most powerful, it's not the most feature-packed, but it's just a really good, reliable smartphone. It's fun to use, it's dependable, and it's got that unique Pixel charm. Is it worth buying in 2025? If you value a clean software experience, top-notch camera quality for everyday photography, and being first in line for Android updates, absolutely, especially if you can find it on sale, which you often can. Is it worth upgrading from a predecessor, say a Pixel 7 or 8? If those software features in that refined design are tempting and you have the budget, then yeah, it's a worthwhile upgrade. But if you're purely chasing raw performance or blazing fast charging, maybe look elsewhere. Could it be a good companion phone to your main phone? Potentially. If your main phone is, say, a super powerful gaming phone, but you want a reliable daily driver with an amazing camera for everyday use, then the Pixel 9 could be a great shout. Overall, the Pixel 9 is a phone that's grown on me even more over these past 6 months. It's not perfect, but it nails the essentials, and it does it with that signature Pixel flair. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the Pixel 9? Are you considering getting one? Are you a Pixel user already? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you found this long-term review helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more tech goodness, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.